Okay, so let's talk about the Riu Ocho Rios in Jamaica. You see the pictures, you hear the hype, but is it really the all-inclusive dream they promise? We're going to peel back the curtain and look at the real experience on the ground. We'll dive into everything from the pools to the parties, all to help you figure out if this is the right spot for your next trip.
Okay, get this. One traveler said, "This was the best holiday I've ever experienced. I left feeling like I wanted to cry. It was that amazing." Wow. I mean, imagine a vacation so good that leaving actually makes you want to cry. That sets the bar pretty darn high, right? So what is it about this place? What's creating that kind of reaction? And, is that everyone's experience? Let's dig in.
All right, so here's our game plan. We're going to start with the big picture, the whole Jamaican escape vibe. Then we'll check out the rooms, hit the beach and pools, talk food and drinks, see what happens when the sun goes down, and wrap it all up with the final verdict.
All right, first up, let's get the lay of the land. What are we dealing with here? The Riu Ocho Rios is a big, 5-star, all-inclusive resort. It's sitting right on the beach in a place called Mammee Bay. And its whole promise is super simple. Everything you could possibly want, all in one spot. And when I say big picture, I really, really mean it. The scale of this place is just massive. We're talking over 900 rooms. So, to put that in perspective, right? This isn't some cozy little boutique hotel. No way. This is a huge, sprawling complex built to handle hundreds and hundreds of people all at once. So, what's the sales pitch? What are they promising you? Well, they hit all the big ones. A prime spot right on the beach, 24-hour all-inclusive service, which, let's be honest, is a massive selling point, and you're super close to famous spots like Dunn's River Falls. You throw in free Wi-Fi everywhere, a club for the kids, a spa and gym, and yep, on paper, it sounds like it's got the whole package. Okay, let's move on to your home away from home. Section 2, let's talk about the rooms. This is where you'll be crashing after a long day of, well, vacationing. So, you've got a few main choices when it comes to rooms. Your standard double is about 28 square meters, pretty cozy. If you want to level up, the junior suite gives you more room to breathe and a big window looking out at the ocean. But if you're going all out, the suite is huge, more than double the size, and it throws in awesome perks like a hot tub and a separate living room. So yeah, the trade-off is pretty clear. It's all about how much you want to spend for that extra space and luxury. But sometimes you get these little surprises that aren't in the brochure. One guest shared this awesome story. They booked a sea view room, right? And they got it. But their balcony also looked out over this big lake on the property that was filled with turtles. And they even got to watch a couple of weddings happen right from their balcony. I mean, how cool is that? It's those little unexpected things that you really remember.
All right, enough about the rooms, let's get outside. It's time for the main event. Sun, sand, and slides. This is the heart and soul of a Caribbean trip, right? So, how does the room measure up?
So how does it stack up? Let me just throw one number at you. 5. Yep. There are 5 different swimming pools dotted around this place. That means basically no matter where you wander, you're just a few steps away from taking a dip. And look, it's not just about having a bunch of pools. They've actually thought this through. There's a pool for whatever mood you're in. You want a quiet drink? Boom, 2 adults-only pools with swim-up bars. You got the family with you? No problem, 2 big pools for everyone. Feeling a little competitive? There's a sports pool for stuff like water volleyball. And of course, a totally separate kids pool with its own slides. They've done a great job of creating different zones for different people. But listen, for a lot of families, the real highlight is something called Splash Water World. And we're not just talking about a couple of slides next to the pool here. No. This is a full-on water park right there on the property. And from what travelers say, this thing is an absolute game changer, especially if you've got teenagers who are impossible to impress. It's got stuff for little kids, teens, adults. It's a massive draw.
Okay, let's shift gears and talk about something that can make or break an all-inclusive trip. The food. This is where things can get interesting. So, a taste of the tropics. What's the deal with the dining and drinks here?
So you've basically got 4 main options for food. First, there's the main buffet. That's your easy, go-to spot for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. A ton of variety, no reservations, super convenient. If you want something a little more special, you can book a table at one of the theme spots. They've got Italian, Asian, and a steakhouse. Then, for that authentic Jamaican flavor, you've got to hit Pepe's Jerk Hut by the pool. And for those 2 a.m. snack attacks, the sports bar is open 24/7 with stuff like patties and hot dogs.
Okay, but this is where we hit a pretty major red flag. One traveler reported a really serious issue. She said that both she and her friend found pieces of plastic in their oxtail on 2 different days. I mean, that's bad. And what's maybe even more concerning is that when she brought it up, she said the staff kind of acted like they already knew it was a problem.
But here's the twist. And honestly, it's the most surprising part of this whole story. That same person, the one who found plastic in her food twice, also said it didn't ruin her trip. In fact, she said she'd go back tomorrow if I could. And that right there, that tells you almost everything you need to know about this place. For some people, the other parts of the vacation are just so good that they're willing to overlook a massive issue like that.
So you have to be asking, what could possibly be so good that it makes up for something like that? Well, let's find out. Let's talk about what happens when the sun goes down. Because from everything I've seen, the entertainment and nightlife is where this resort absolutely 100% shines.
I'm not kidding, everyone, and I mean everyone, raves about the entertainment team. One guest said they are worth their weight in gold, and you see that sentiment over and over again. People consistently say this team is the #1 reason their trip was so amazing. They're out there from morning to late at night, engaging with everybody, from the little kids to the adults.
And the energy is just nonstop. You've got live music and different shows every single night. They do these huge themed parties, like an all-white party right on the sand, or these really high-energy glow parties. The main stage area is massive. It's even got 2 stages, so there's never a lull in the action. People are literally saying it's the best entertainment you'll find at any resort on the entire north coast of Jamaica. That's a huge claim.
Okay, so let's put all the pieces together. Time for the final verdict. The big question, should you go?
All right, here's the breakdown, the pros and the cons. On the pro side, the list is long. Truly world-class entertainment, a gorgeous big beach, those 5 pools in the water park, and a staff that's just full of energy. On the con side, you've got to be aware of the risks. The food quality can be a real gamble, and we can't forget that report about the plastic. There's also seaweed season to think about, roughly May to October. And some people mentioned spotty Wi-Fi in the rooms and even some power outages.
So when you boil it all down, it seems like the Rio Ocho Rios is the perfect spot for a very specific type of person. If you're someone who wants nonstop action, a super social and lively vibe, and an amazing beach and pool scene, this place is going to be your paradise. It is built for people who want high energy and constant fun, and who, frankly, aren't too bothered if the food isn't a 5-star gourmet experience.
So that really just leaves one last question, and this one's for you to answer for yourself. When you think about your perfect vacation, what's the most important thing? Is it the nonstop party, the amazing entertainment, and that incredible energy? And does that outweigh the risk of a few bumps in the road? Your answer to that question is going to tell you everything you need to know about whether the Riu Ocho Rios is the right place for you.